We had quite a heavy blustery wind last night, and as a result a number of pots got blown over and a couple of my bonsai trees got knocked off the benches. My greenwood azalea bonsai got blown off the bench here. Fortunately it looks okay, no damage done. And over on my main benches, my pyracantha here got blown over. Again, no serious damage done, fortunately. I also noticed that two of the koinobori windsocks also got torn off the pole here. Fortunately, they were still in the garden, they were just laying on the lawn, so I managed to recover those, and I will be reattaching those. It doesn't look like there was any damage done to any other trees on the benches here. Nothing else was blown onto the floor, which is fortunate. I think mostly because they're in quite heavy pots. We have in the past had these chairs actually blown into the pond, so I was fortunate in that those didn't go in there last night, although the ones on the patio here had blown from one side to the other. I'm just surveying the trees on the table here. At some point I need to move these into some more permanent display stands or benches, and I've got some plans to make some more display areas in the garden. I'll be doing a video of those shortly. This is the new red pine which I just got, and at some point I need to make a proper assessment of that and decide what I need to do to take that forward. Fish have got no complaints about the weather. It's actually quite mild at the moment, and so they've been quite active. This time of year you'd expect them to be a bit torpid and sleepy, but I don't know what the actual temperature is, but we're quite warm at the moment. One of the things that I do need to check on is my Japanese white pines. I've moved them under the tea house here to give them some shelter from rain during the winter months, but what I just need to be careful of is that they don't get too dry. And looking at those, I can see that they probably would benefit from having a watering, so I think I'll just move them forward a little bit and just give them a little bit of a watering. I'm just making sure that there's a bit of moisture in the pots, and then I'm going to put these back under cover. We've got here an acacia tree, and we've got two of these in the garden. I actually bought them as an unusual subject for bonsai, but we've let them grow as garden trees for the time being, and they get this lovely flower on them in winter. And perhaps at some point I will air layer part of this tree and give it a go as a bonsai. This is the other one. And they add some winter interest to the garden. They also develop a sort of purple tinge on the ends of the leaves. I don't know if perhaps that's a spring thing. The tree type, I believe, is an Acacia, Baileyana, Purpurea. Now the Purpurea just means that it's got purple leaves. You will see around the garden that certain deciduous trees hang on to their leaves quite late, and the reason for this is that the leaves are actually protecting the buds at the base of those leaves until spring. And so oak, hornbeam and beech are good examples of that. And you can see here my hornbeam at the back there, and the beech forest at the front here, and they will hang on to these leaves until perhaps March time to allow for the buds at the base of those leaves to develop, and they'll provide some protection through the winter months. I have here a Mugo pine, which I've had for perhaps about 3 years, and it's never really done very much. It's one of those trees where I've perhaps thought it hasn't made the grade and even contemplated getting rid of. But I've just recently seen on eBay some young Mugo pines where the seller has put some wire on there and put some quite dramatic bends in. So perhaps there is a future for this tree. I just need to rethink what I'm doing with it. So that's a tree which in the next several weeks I might have to work on and look at putting some wire on there. So that's one to watch. And it might give this tree a reprieve. You can see that my crab apple still has fruit on it, but that's beginning to rot and fall off, as you can see here. And so I may well just take a pair of scissors and remove all of the fruit on there now and just let it rest until spring.